Welcome back to another episode of All in Martin, your A-rated school districts, Martin County School District's official podcast. I'm your host, Kirsty Germain, and today we're talking about the little behind the scenes, not little, big things that happen behind the scenes to make sure our schools are ready for day one, which I can't believe that we just started a new school year just a few days ago. And there's a lot that our families might not know go behind the scenes to get our schools ready. So we have our Director of Facilities, Mark Sechrist, to talk all about that. He deals with the large projects that are going on to rebuild our campuses, make our classrooms beautiful, and make them environments that our students and staff are really excited to be at. So thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Well, let's go ahead and kick things right off. Tell us a little bit about what goes on during the summer when it is quiet. We can get a lot of work done when the students and staff are not on campus.
Correct. It's very difficult to do anything from from August to May of any school year because the campuses are basically used throughout the whole day. So essentially we start scheduling work in January prior to May for all these capital projects to happen. We essentially had plus or minus 40 projects going on this summer, and they're probably 95% complete now. And that's all to get the students ready and the staff ready to use these school sites. And these projects range from as large as Stuart Middle School Cafe to renovating one classroom. So they range in size.
Awesome. And I know a lot of it too. So obviously we like our campuses beautiful, but safety is a priority. And that's another reason why we don't do these during the school years.
In a lot of our big projects, we actually have to fence off so that students can't access it and parents can't access it. So it's a challenge securing these sites during an active campus.
So let's talk about some of these big projects that families are going to start seeing as the school year gets underway. I know we have really exciting news at Martin County High School that a lot of people have been waiting for.
So I'll bring it forward. We have some exciting updates for these capital projects. Like I said, they're large and small, but one of our largest ones was Stuart Middle School. We actually had phase 1, 2, and 3, and that's been going on for the past 3 years. So when the students left school last May 2025, they had the old cafeteria building. And it's totally gone now. There's sod, there's irrigation, and now you have a brand new cafeteria building that they're going to move into. And now phase 3 is the gym renovation, and that's going to be completed the last week of August. So we're really close on that timeline, and we've worked with the school site, and they're going to adjust their classes in PE for that first month of school, and then September 1st they'll be able to use the gym.
And I know the cafeteria is absolutely beautiful. Talk about some of the new spaces that staff and students can look forward to. Like what was all included? I know there's an outside cafe area that is really pretty.
So there's an outside dining area, which is probably about 2/3 or half the size of the interior space. And the school's going to use that more or less for rewarding students or VIP seating. But it does increase their capacity by that much. So the inside seats anywhere from, well, with tables and chairs, it seats about 400 students. Now, what's interesting is the kitchen area where they prepare all the foods in the serving line, it meets SREF, which is the state requirements, which the old cafeteria was never designed to that because it wasn't in place. So now their new kitchen is almost 3 times bigger than their old kitchen. So now they have 4 serving lines, and they're going to staff that up eventually, but they're moving into a very large kitchen with adequate equipment now to serve that many kids. And then also there's a brand new stage at the head end of this cafeteria where they can use it as a multi-purpose room for any kind of event they want to do for the public or students.
I saw that has dressing rooms too. That was really cool.
So it has a stage, it has risers, it has a microphone, it has, like you said, storage and dressing rooms for boys and girls.
And it really is beautiful. I mean, anytime we get a fresh new building, it's really awesome to step inside and see it for the first time. So I'm really excited our kids get to see that this school year.
And along with this campus, it's really transformed the campus into a positive atmosphere because we essentially, once you get there this year, you're going to see that we repainted the whole campus so that the color scheme matches every building. So now it looks like a whole campus unified. And then, because it actually brought these new buildings new life, they look totally different now.
They do.
And then with that cafeteria building and the admin media, now we've created a central courtyard that has a tight-knit fit. We're trying to create that campus feel, but in reality, it's really transformed it to a positive-looking campus now. I think an environment that promotes education now.
Do you remember how old either the cafeteria or the gym were before we started doing this project?
Some of the early phases were early 60s and 70s, and then it transformed into the 80s and 90s. But so that building was one of our oldest buildings, and now, like I said, it's been transformed. We removed it and put in a state-of-the-art building.
So the gym's going to be ready for students, you said, towards the end of August.
So it'll be ready basically that September 1st date. So the gym's going to have new flooring, new bleachers, new painting, new light fixtures, and new air conditioning. And then promotional to that is we actually air conditioned the boys and girls locker rooms, which weren't really originally designed that way, but we went back and retrofitted it with air conditioning.
I'm sure the kids will appreciate that, especially
so they're looking
in
excited
September.
To that. Yes.
Florida Septembers are so hot, so that'll be nice. Awesome, cool. Well, so very exciting things happening at Stuart Middle School this year. Martin County High School had a lot, really exciting news going on there. People are going to be really happy to know that the pool is ready.
We officially received response from the health department that we passed our inspection, so that means the pool is ready to open. And that means it's open for use of facility, or it's open for the swim team at Martin County High School. So that process will start now. So that was great news as of this morning on the 7th. The contractors completed all of option number 1, which the board approved in November. And we completed some of the additional items, and then we had additional items on top of that the health department required. So all that was completed in the last 10 days.
Awesome.
And now it's ready to open.
And I know one word, or I guess 2 words, that I keep hearing from your team and really anyone who stepped foot in that pool facility so far is resort style. It looks like a resort because it's not just that we got the pool up and running, there's fresh paint. It's been cleaned up all around it. The bathrooms are much nicer. There's so much work that went into it.
So there was a lot of upgrades to the electrical, which nobody sees, but that whole room was upgraded. The pump room was upgraded. There was items that were maintained now that need to be maintained. So yes, it looks totally different now that all the buildings are freshly painted and it's been cleaned up, and as much as the systems could be updated and maintained to the current standards.
And then we're also adding, I believe, a wheelchair lift,
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're making sure that's operational, and once it's here, we'll install it, and that'll be functional for anybody that needs it.
And then also at County, that a lot of parents are really happy about is we upgraded the bleachers. So they used to be wooden.
So what it was is the original stadium, for some reason, had wood planks on the flooring of each rise of the bleacher in the stadium. So right now you have brand new aluminum plank that matches the seating that you sit on. So that whole system's been upgraded and it's ready to use now. They just finished that in the last 10 days.
Some other really fun things that we've worked on this summer, again, somewhat smaller things, but when your student goes there or when you're working there, it really makes such a huge difference to see your campus get this facelift. And Felix A. Williams Elementary, their media center, got a huge facelift.
So I'll discuss that. So that project kind of grew where we actually replaced the flooring in admin and media center. And then in the media center, they received new lighting, new painting. We actually put together a package so we get new furniture. So it's new tables and chairs in that area, and a new circulation desk. So when you go in there now with the new painted walls, the flooring, and the lighting, it looks like a brand new media center, even though the shell's an old building. So it actually made a positive environment, and we were able to use what we have with minimal amount of money, considering if we had to rebuild that whole section. So it turns out really well. We've done that in the past at some other schools. We did it at Martin County High School and South Fork High School in the past. So this year it was Felix A. Williams.
Yeah, I know one of the goals we have is to upgrade our media centers across the county. So Felix was one of the latest ones to get that facelift.
But it's exciting. If you haven't been there, go see Felix A. Williams.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love a good renovation, especially in the media center. Media centers at elementary schools are one of the most vibrant places on the campus. So it's really exciting, and I'm excited for the students. I want people to know we worked on all of these during the summer, these sites and some additional sites during the summer. I know like Bessie Creek got some new flooring. Painting goes on at all of our school sites throughout the summer, pressure washing, really anything to maintain our campuses and make sure that they stay nice and pretty and safe. But there is a list. So if people are wondering like, hey, why isn't my media center updated this year? We have a list of capital projects that we work on.
Correct. So annually, I work with Carter Morrison, he's with finance, and he brings forward the 5-year capital plan, which essentially lists the capital projects out for the next 5 years. And then annually you update that. So every year at some certain point in time, we update that list. But that list has all the projects that we have funded to do throughout the school district. And then we work on scheduling those, depending on how big or small they are, whether we can do them over the summer or during the school year. But if anybody needs to know what that looks like, you can look up the 5-year capital plan, and it's a list of projects. 3/4 of them are my projects or facilities projects that we have to take care of.
Yeah. So yeah, like you said, if you're ever interested to see if your school's next up on that list or a room's next up on that list, then you can check out the capital project plan, and it is available on our website at martinschools.org. So we talked about things that happened this summer, some updates that we had this summer. Now the school year is underway. What can we expect throughout this year or the end of next school year or this school year?
So the next 2 projects, which are big projects, and keep in mind this takes anywhere from 24 months to 3 years to get fully completed. So the next one up right now is Murray Middle School. So that contract's going to be approved for the architectural engineering side of it at the August board meeting, which is August 19th. What that allows is the timeline for that project will start once that contract is approved. So we're going to start designing that campus. So that campus is getting a new admin media center. They're getting a new classroom building that has labs in it. It has art in it. It has the ag lab in it. It has music and choir in it. With that approval, that project will start that timeline. And then once that timeline starts, like I said, it's anywhere from 24 months to 36 months to complete. Now, also following that project, because I'm staggering them a little bit because they're such large projects, Warfield will follow that. So once I get approval at the August 19th meeting, we will start that same process with Warfield, and they're getting a new admin media center and they're getting a new classroom building. So it's a similar project, just a little bit different functions. There again, it'll be similar to Stuart Middle, where we're building on an active campus and we have all that under control, but it will be interesting trying to do that again twice. So what it is once you do that admin media center, that's like the front of the school. That's the image of the school, because the parents are coming in there, the public's coming in there, the students have to come in there, and everybody uses the media center. So it helps to bring up the spirit of that school or the positive nature of that school once you tackle that front building and the admin building, because it's actually the front of the school every time you go to a school. So we're tackling that now at Murray Middle School, and then we're going to do that at Warfield, and we just finished the one at Stuart Middle. So if anybody hasn't seen Stuart Middle, that whole campus was transformed into a 100% positive atmosphere, and the students are excited about using the building. The teachers are. I know the administration there is really excited, so they were happy to get a new building.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, it's nice. I think, is there any other long-term projects or projects that families should be aware of?
Well, the general idea is once we get through Warfield, then we will go through that 5-year capital plan and schedule some of these other projects, even though they may not be large like people think, but they're still just as important. So we will start scheduling them throughout the years to get them completed.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today and talking about this. I know our families are really excited to step into those updated buildings and media centers and just seeing lively campuses as we start the school year. So I know I'm excited. I can't talk enough about Stuart Middle School. It really looks amazing.
I'm just excited that we were able to meet those timelines, because it's difficult to plan projects that are 3 years ahead of schedule or into a schedule and trying to meet those deadlines.
Yeah, and we're doing it.
We're doing it.
Thanks to your team, of course. Thanks to our contractors.
Correct.
Huge shout out to our contractors that do this work. We can't do it without them.
No.
And then I do want to give a big shout out to your crews that work so hard to get everything ready just in time for the start of school for our students and staff. They really do. They work so hard over the summer to make sure that our campuses are ready to go.
It's a team effort.
Yeah, it is. And we have a great team. Thank you again for joining us today to give us all of these updates. And I do want to mention that if you're ever curious about what updates are currently happening, Mark gives them during our monthly school board meeting, so you could always tune into those. And a reminder to our families that curriculum nights are coming up very soon, so make sure that you're staying tuned to what your schools are sharing about those events. They're very important for our families to go to so they can see all of the greatness that's happening in our schools this year. And I just want to welcome our families and students and employees back to another great school year. 25-26 is going to be one unstoppable year.